Alright, what's up everyone? I want to talk about a little trading. Bitcoin is going sideways, and that's what I think we're going to see for a little bit longer. Who knows for how much longer, but the weekly chart, I suppose, this is somewhat of a key level that we're struggling to get above. 281, and really if you push it up to the bodies of these candles, it's 286, but I like the low 278. You know, Bitcoin needs to get above this level, and that's all I see on the weekly chart really. On the daily chart, we see that we're struggling with our weekly level, and another interesting thing is coming up here. I'll preface this by saying I really don't know what's going to happen, and so I'm going to lay out both sides and what I'm looking for, but basically you kind of got like a market maker sell model right here, and generally if this is really a market maker sell model, there is going to be one more leg down, but it's just a question of is Bitcoin bullish enough to get above here, because we've been talking about this 240 level for a long time, and we broke that 240 level. That's pretty huge for Bitcoin, and right now it's just a waiting game to see if Bitcoin can continue that momentum. Either way, if Bitcoin goes up or down, I think it's still bullish, like on a weekly time frame. But in terms of getting an entry to go long, holding off on that at least for another week. I assume this is, I just predict flatness for a while. But on the daily chart, another key thing to note, which is kind of tricky, is this order block right here. We see that we are consolidating above this order block, and it's totally feasible that we could, if this could turn support, this 278 level, that we could have a push up higher, a better retracement into these 317 highs at the minimum. But if we did give up this order block, I would say that like 260 would be the next target for sure. And we get that because we got this fib. Taking a fib from the low at 238, because we've been talking about this 240 key level for so long. This is a good spot for a price swing to start. And this high is obviously the end of the price swing. So we see that 260 is going to be the sweet spot, and we also see that there is conveniently an order block starting at 260. And so I believe that if 270 were to give away, I would say that would be a clear sign for me to short to 260, 258. And that would kind of be the market maker sell profile that would conclude in a retracement into an optimal trade entry. I don't suspect that we're going to break 240 or clear any of these lows here. So I think 260 would be a good objective to really start focusing on buys. But that's too far in the future, so we'll see. We'll see if it even happens. If we go to the hourly chart, this is what I'm looking for. So basically this 278 level is that weekly low from months ago, and we see how perfectly it's it's definitely still providing support and resistance. It's definitely a sensitive level in the market. So what I really want to see is, I like this market structure so far, with this low, higher low. We see the order blocks being respected, this order block, boom, being respected, and then making highs off that. We aren't really taking out highs though, so what I really want to see is 278 turn support, and I want to see us making higher highs off of 278, and I just want to see 278 turn support, and I want to see the buyers keep coming into the market in the form of higher lows. Yeah, and so that's basically what I want to see for the bulls. If we can turn support here, then I would say we're gonna come up into this consolidation area and retest 300 again. This is very illiquid, so if we could get a push up, then I think that filling in this area would be pretty easy. So I think if 271 can turn support, and I think if we show signs of being bullish here, we're going to 300. But then I think if these lows get taken out, I think if 271.90 gets taken out, I think we're going to 260, 255. And that's basically it on Bitcoin. And that's basically what I'm looking for. Basically, is 278 going to turn support, or are we going to trade weaker and break and not respect the daily order block, the daily bullish order block, which is noted right there. And so those are the levels, and that's what I'm looking for. And since I think that Bitcoin is sideways, it's not really the focus of my mind right now. And actually, Forex is what I'm focusing on, primarily the GBP, because I think the pound has a huge potential, well, not a huge potential move, but I think it could really explode, well, not explode, but I think it could go up a couple hundred pips. And so we will explain those reasons. Compare this to the Euro USD, which is Euro USD. And this is going to be ICT's SMT, smart money tool concept. And a little trick that I use to visualize this for myself is I'll compare them. So I click compare, and so I've got these two compared. But you'll notice that it's kind of a pain to work with these things, because the scale, the pound is at like 1.5 and the euro's at 1.1, so the scale is just going to be way off. So what I do is I right click on the euro, and then I go to unmerge down, and now I have two separate graphs, and I can look at them both in terms of price, and they move in a non-awkward way. It looks really good. So we see this SMT divergence, which is basically we have a low here. Okay, so I gotta get rid of some stuff because this was my chart. I've been marking it up. I was trading it yesterday, but reset, no, drawing tools, remove all drawing tools. Okay, so basically this low here was we were unwilling to go lower here while the euro did make lower lows. And so that is smart money SMT divergence, and it's basically the euro and the pound are very correlated pairs. So when the correlation breaks, you have to look at why is it breaking, and there's some very significant things you can see. You see this order block here is being respected right as correlation is being broken. You also see an order block here being respected, and so you kind of see smart money buys and down moves, and then boom, huge accumulation, retrace into where they were buying before, boom, huge accumulation, and then retrace into where they were buying, and then boom, we are in the process of breaking up again. So this is a good sign when you see the order block stacking like this. And I guess one more you could do is this order block right here. It's kind of wicky, but somewhere around here it's respecting that order block. Really quickly, another bullish thing about the GBP is that on the weekly chart, you see this is a swing low right at this weekly order block. So not only are we SMT divergence, which is not a reason in itself to take a trade, we have put in a swing low at a weekly bullish order block because smart money buys and down moves, and then look at that 2-week explosive move up, taking out new highs. We did retrace into it, higher low on one side, higher low on the left side, and then this should be the profit release week. And so we are looking for an explosive week up. And on the daily chart, even, you can see the power of 3. Here's the swing low on the daily, which is near the body of this order block. And it's a higher low on the left, a higher low on the right. And then boom, today, probably going to shoot up, in my opinion, at least taking out these highs. And we can go down on a 4-hour chart and see what that kind of looks like. So basically, these are, as ICT would say, these highs are too clean. There's a lot of liquidity there. And we do have, thanks to the SMT tool, a kind of a hint that possibly smart money has been accumulating the cable, the British pound. And so I think at the very least we're going to run these highs. But given that there's so much accumulation here, if we do run these highs, and if we are able to turn support here, let's say we run these highs and there's a minimal retracement, or we just explode through and then kind of reach back and test here, the next logical level would be like the 158 big fig, and that is arrived at on the daily chart. Basically, if these highs get taken out, then really the next level of selling is in this consolidation. So if we draw that out right here, this could be the 158 big fig. This could be the weekly target, or the weekly target could simply be just to take out the liquidity that's resting above here. It is dangerous because there is an order block just resting right above these two highs. So it could just be moving up into this consolidation where there was clearly an accumulation of short positions. This could be they could just be throwing it up there, taking this liquidity to reaccumulate the shorts that they were getting right here. But for right now, it looks like a really strong long for a day or two, and then we'll see what happens up here. And if it remains bullish, then I'd say we're going to 158. Another thing is the lack of retracement here. It could be a measured move, like this is the first leg and this is the second leg. I mean, it looks bullish to me. It didn't really retrace much at all, and when it did retrace, it was just little dinky candles that were like barely even red. So we'll see what happens. That's what I'm thinking. Bitcoin, who knows? Pound, maybe going to the moon. Probably going to 1,567 for sure. But other than that, man, that's all I got. So peace, good luck, good trading.